Whoa, hi.
Hi.
Good evening. Thank you for stopping by and visiting our underground hotel. Think about it.
Do you have a swimming pool?
My name is Sophia Ellworth Danford, and I'd like to tell you about my family. I was born in Sodus in 1799 to Ammi Ellsworth and Lucretia Palmer. I was the second of 7 children, and I married Samuel Danford in 1817. It's cold up here out of the ground. Together, we had 8 children between 1817 and 1842. Louis, Orrin, Lucinda, Mary, Sarepta, Chloe, Edwin, and Amelia. Whew. I passed away in Sodus right before Christmas in 1886 at the age of 87. I am from a long line of military officers. We can trace, actually, the Ellsworth ancestry back to Sir John and Lady Lydia Ellsworth in England in the late 16th century. Their son, Sergeant Josiah Ellsworth, was the first Ellsworth to come to America in the 17th century. One of his sons was Captain Job Ellsworth, who lived in Windsor, Connecticut. He was the father of Sergeant Benjamin Ellsworth, my great-grandfather. My grandfather was Captain Job Ellsworth, the father of fraternal twins, Ammi and Levi Ellsworth, born in 1767. My grandfather, Job Ellsworth, and my father-in-law, Joshua Danford, were both in the Revolutionary War. And my father, Ammi Ellsworth, fought in the Battle of Sodus Point on June 19, 1813. Do you know about the War of 1812? Okay, then I won't. I will pass right over that. Just to mention, some of you probably know that, but in 1813, Sodus Point was actually called Troopville, named after Colonel Robert Troop, who was a land agent for the Pulteney Estates, or whatever you want to call it, the Sir William Pulteney Land Company. Okay, we're not going to do that. I just saved you 5 minutes. Okay. My father, Ammi Ellsworth, was one of the defenders of Troopville in 1813, since his farm was only a few miles away on Lake Road. I was 14 at the time, and I remember his stories about the battle. Here's a little tidbit about my father. He enjoyed partaking of the cup that cheers and does inebriate. Often, when he had had enough to drink, he would turn to a stranger and say, am I, or am I not, am I? If I am not, am I, then who in hell am I? On the Danford side of my family, and the reason for the naming of Danford Street here in Sodus, there were also many soldiers in both the Revolutionary War and Civil War. Sergeant Joshua Danford was in the Revolutionary War. His great-grandson, my grandson, Charles Danford Bean, applied for and was approved for membership in the Sons of the American Revolution in December 1913. Joshua Danford was born in Boscawen, New Hampshire, married Lucretia Palmer of Sodus, and together they had 4 children, including my husband, Samuel. Joshua and Lucretia had a farm on Lake Road and were buried in the Bushnell Cemetery on the north side of that road. My parents, Ammi and Chloe Ellsworth, were also buried in the Bushnell Cemetery since their farm was near there. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my grandson, Charles Danford Bean. He was born in Marion, but he spent most of his life in Geneva, having moved there in 1874 with his parents at the age of 12. He was the only child of my daughter Chloe and Charles Bean of England. He was a lawyer, a historian, and a genealogist. He received his Bachelor of Science degree from Hobart, which was aligned with Syracuse University at the time. His Master of Arts degree was from Allegheny College in Pennsylvania. His Bachelor of Philosophy degree from Syracuse University, and his Doctor of Laws degree at the Southern Normal University College of Law, which is, I think, in Tennessee. He also traveled widely in Europe and studied law in London, Paris, and other great cities. He was a professor and dean of the College of Law in Keuka College for 4 years and a two-term judge for the Ontario County Court of Sessions, an overachiever. My family on both sides, Ellsworth and Danford, have certainly done their part in defending and serving their nation and communities. I hope you have enjoyed your 45 minutes here at the Sodus Rural Underground Hotel. I love talking about my family, and I hope you will join us again next October to learn about more people for whom streets in Sodus were named. And now I will guide you out of here.